different. You go to hockey games to get excited. 2 goals with the goalie pulled, and the Bruins, showing hearts of lions, have tied it 3-3.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. Episode 6 in the same seats for the Same Seats podcast. Gentlemen, happy Monday. How we doing?
Doing well. Celebrated a birthday a couple days ago, Michael, right?
30.
3-0. I was hoping the Bruins maybe showed up for you a little bit for the birthday week, but fell flat on their face.
The game that I went to was actually a birthday present, so it was pretty good for me going to the Mammoth game. One of the most fun games I've been to in a while, honestly.
Sitting high above the ice.
Not in the press box, but close to it. Getting the press box hat trick, which is 3 hot dogs for those who don't know at home.
The only way to watch a game. Get the press box, Hattie. You're familiar to that one. But we got a lot to unpack here, gents.
Too familiar.
Crazy. I mean, call it out. So we recorded just before the Wild game. Thank God we got that one done before that. That was Quinn Hughes looked sick. Still looks sick. Looks to be working out for both sides, which we'll jump into in a minute. But played quite a bit of hockey since then. Beat Utah. We'll have Mike, boots on the ground, kind of talk about that, little in-game production. Mm-hmm. Dropped one to the Oil. Dropped one to Van. And then, by God, did we drop one to the Sens. So, not a great stretch for the black and gold here. We'll jump in. We'll walk through all
Under
that.
500. Not good. Under 500.
No, and in the East where it's as tight as it is, not great. So we'll jump into all those games quick, and then we'll wrap up here with a little bit of ranting because I think everyone's got a few things on their chest at this stage of the game. We're not going to waste your time and talk about the Wild game. We're just not.
No.
It's done and dusted.
Nope.
But the Utah game, the Mammoth come to town.
Mm-hmm.
Michael, you were boots on the ground. Give us some takeaways here.
It was great. And it's a Tuesday too, right around holidays. So I wasn't totally sure what to expect, but I couldn't have been more pleased. Like the amount of people that were there drinking beers in Hub Hall beforehand, it was very impressive. I saw a lot of James Hagan's BC jerseys, which was awesome to see. And the people know what's going on in the city. They're not blind to it. One of my main takeaways from the game, Morgan Kiki is just the best hockey player on the planet right now. 2 Genos right there in that game. And I actually had to Google the Martian Milko store to see if they sold I have my black and gold hat because I've thrown it on the ice 3 separate times and I've had to buy it 3 separate times. And
For good cause.
Yes, for good cause. I will always throw it every time there's a hat trick. But I was concerned because they don't sell the hat anymore. So one of the guys I was with, he looked up on eBay. There was like one being sold for $12 or something. Looked disgusting. It was probably on like a bouncer's head or something. Dave, you're familiar with that. But easy. I was not going to throw this hat though. And, it's a little conflicting to do. But are you guys hat throwers if you're going to the games?
I haven't been in the position.
No?
Same here.
No, I haven't been to a game with a hat trick. But it's something to think about too, though, because I want to be in a position where I'm chucking it, and I believe in myself. I think I would throw it.
That's pretty impressive, Mike. You've been in that position a couple of times, and you were always
kind of strange.
Like the third or however many times. Like the fact you had to think about that, I haven't got that far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like I'm very conscious of it now because I love that hat so much. That's like the one hat where I'll wear it anywhere and people will say, "Oh, that's a nice hat." Kind of weird, but it is a good lid.
Bigger story, though.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say bigger story. A little upset Marshy and Milko still not making those hats.
I know. I don't know if they're discontinuing that company or what, because the whole website was sort of bare bones.
Interesting.
That's
we
not
have to put our FedEx investigative journalism.
Falling out, maybe? No, we don't.
Well, I was going to say, we need to keep you in mind. This weekend didn't show anything for us, but we need to keep this in mind for any playoff games. We need you boots on the ground, and we'll lump some money together if you're getting that
for
good
hat tricks.
Games, yeah.
Well, I think I'd have to really think hard about my my playoff record, but I don't think it's that great. I might be right around 500. I don't think my boots on the ground record is great for playoffs, but it is good regular season. Kind of pulling everything together game wise and vibe wise. I saw the internet was already talking about it and kind of crushing it. The lizard video that TD Garden played on the Jumbotron of this guy, not even guy, the lizard who's like cockeyed. He's slamming a phone and it's just going Bruins, 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 Bruins for 30 seconds. And the entire garden just got silent because they were so confused. And then it stops and the lizard looks up and his eyes go like crazy. And then he just slams it one more time, Bruins. And then like the bear comes on the screen, it growls, and then they hit it with like Ozzy Osbourne or something. It's like, make some noise. And the entire garden erupted. It was so funny. Like I was clapping, I was going, yeah. And I'm not like a big cheer throughout the game, but that got me so jacked up for some. I don't know why. I don't know why. I think it was like they lured you in and then just fireworks. It was awesome.
Well, you taught Dave and I because you had to be at the game in order to recognize the lizard. So you told us about it, and my first text was, "This is creating unity amongst the entire Bruins family." It truly is, and I love it. I can't wait to see it in person. It reminds me of like the old episodes, obviously different context, but when like the Bruins, what? And like the
Oh
Phil
yeah.
Kessel commercial, and then the one with the guy that takes his wife or girlfriend to the game and she's wearing a Habs jersey, and the bear comes over and knocks the beer out of his hand. Like those are the things that unite these fan bases. So I
Yeah,
love it.
100%. And I watched a YouTube video. Sophia Yurksevich was putting it on. I forget what it's called. It's for the Garden Party YouTube series. But they went into the TD Garden control room. This guy is the director of it. His name's Michael Beakey. And basically, he just said how they have a team of 25 people that they're in charge of the game presentation every night. And they do such a good, like, what I saw, I was very impressed. I haven't seen a presentation like that from the tunes they were playing, the fans they were showing. Everything was top notch. I mean, one moment that went viral was the Feliz Navidad that they were playing during the fight at the end. All time. Absolutely hysterical. I'm sitting there laughing, I'm clapping. Like, it was just so fun. We were winning. It was great. So, shout out to them. Shout out to the Garden presentation. It's a good time going to games right now when they're winning.
I mean, you started off the trend, and then all of a sudden, you didn't go to the next match against the Oil, and the wheels fell off the wagon. I wonder if the Lizard made the appearance the next night, because something just didn't add up for that next game.
Just to take it back to the Mammoth game for 1 minute, the Feliz Navidad thing was absolutely hysterical.
So
The
funny.
scrum that ensued next to the bench with, I think it was under a minute remaining, was absolutely ridiculous. The Liam O'Brien, he was coming onto the ice. He changed for the guy that was like mid neutral zone. So like could have been too many men on the ice, and obviously he was hopping the ice for a reason. But it all started because I think it's Schwartz or I'm blanking on the name right now. Their best player, Nick Schmaltz.
Schmaltzy.
He was he hacked two guys in the back of the leg and then just skated away. That's why these
Yeah.
fireworks happened.
Not my
But I
problem.
love Steve's. No, not my problem. He skated away, and like I kind of get it. But at the end of the day, like I love seeing Steve's jump in there, and I don't really know what O'Brien was doing. He was kind of dancing around, thinking that he was going to get a bout from the group of people that were already there, and the refs were already in the mix. But it was just an absolutely chaotic scene.
I thought he was going to fight the ref. The ref bodied him. Absolute UFC takedown.
That was ridiculous.
I got one more thing about that game too, and it's kind of a theme to the next game. And you mentioned Steve's B cam. You've been seeing his ice time decline a little bit, and you've been seeing, I don't know, maybe lack of confidence, but him just not being put in the positions that he was doing so well in before. And it kind of sucks to see it because he ends up getting scratched against Van, but would love to see him kind of get back in the mix a little more. I know it's tough with guys coming back and everything, and he capitalized on opportunity and guys were out, but when he's playing good. But when you watch him against the Mammoth and then Edmonton, you're like, where is he? Almost, because he's
Yeah,
not getting out there.
I I almost think that it's the Easimont. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah,
Easimont.
Franz Easymont.
Franz Easimont. It's almost like his treatment. Like he gets scratched for a number of games, comes back. He's been playing very well. Scored again last night. So maybe they were hoping that the same thing happens with Steves. I mean, I don't think he was playing poorly up until the point that he got scratched. I still think he's a hound on pucks, and I still think he adds a ton of value to whatever line he's on. And I mean, I've seen him on the PK. I haven't seen a ton of him on the PP. Maybe he's just not that type of guy, but he's definitely not hurting the lineup. I truly just think that we have too many numbers right now for the amount of spots.
Totally. Too many guys in a similar role, right? It's like, what can you do? There's only you can only put 5 guys in the ice at one time. You know,
Yeah.
you only have so many third lines. We just happen to have 4. Anything else on that?
That's why we
Utah
love
game?
them.
No, true. Anything else on that Utah game before we talk about McJesus coming to town, hitting up Strega, getting a nice meal in them, and then just putting the bees on the workbench?
Yeah. No, there's nothing there. I mean, it was to your point, Dave. It was kind of a snooze fest game. I was fired up. This is the one time a year that I think I get to watch Connor McDavid play. And 7 p.m. puck drop on a Thursday leading up to Christmas. Like all the vibes were there. Got takeout, sat down, watched the game, and it was just dumping the puck in, going to get it, turnover, going the other way. There was no odd man rushes. I spoke to a big fan of the show, John Femia, and he did say he was boots on the ground at the game, and he was like, this is one of the most boring games I've ever been to. And it felt the same way through the screen.
Yeah, other than McDavid getting going a handful of times, I think they did a pretty good job containing him, but they just focused on him. And there was obviously 4 other guys on the ice, which makes it hard. But to your point, we get him once a year, and this might be the dumbest comment in the history of comments, but you almost forget how good he is because he plays in, out west. You know, you almost don't appreciate it because there's a 0% chance I'm staying up and watching the Oilers play at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night. It's just not happening. But when we get a chance to watch them, it's like, my God. It's a different planet. It's a different planet.
I know. And you said it too, Dave. We were trying to shadow him. That's what it felt like, at least watching the game. But he was good for at least maybe 4 points in that game. He made a play over the blue line where Gretzky turned near the wall. 2 guys gravitated towards him, and he just threw a quick little saucer pass to the middle of the ice. And I think it was Nugent Hopkins that stepped into it. But the backdoor play to I think that was Nugent Hopkins as well. That's Crowley's guy. He was a little soft on his stick a little bit, and they said it after in the press conference too. I think Sturm said it that they truly just gave too much respect to the Oilers, and I also felt that too watching the game where they were up for the game, but they definitely gave them a little bit too much room, and they were nervous about what could happen off of a turnover or a bad bounce.
Yeah, and there was honestly no way the Oilers were losing that game. The German cigarette machine before, the game before, hitting 1,000. There was 0 shot that they were losing that game. And then McJesus comes down on the breakaway, and then that's it.
I have a little bit of positive for you guys from this game. Mark Kastelik. We're familiar with his Wayne Gretzky-like Adam Oates dish.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So something else I was noticing throughout this game, Kastelik is dynamite on face-offs too. If you guys had to guess who is the number 1 face-off man on the Bruins at the time I was checking this stat, which was during the Oilers game, who would it be? Who would you guess?
I would have said Lindholm.
I would also say Lindholm.
It's Mark Kastelik. And I know I'm not the stat guy, but I'll steal some thunder for BCAM stat guys here. Kastelik has won 153 draws out of 262. So he's 58.4% right now. Next would be Lindholm. Lindholm's right around 54.
And he's
So, Mikey,
as the center.
did you see him come out for the draw against Vancouver for the start of the 3-on-3? And then he rushed right off. So that makes so much sense. He's almost at a 60% clip rate. Okay.
He's like the Fogo.
I was going to say
Face off, yeah. Fogo de Chao.
Maybe a shirt to come.
If he surpasses 60.
Yeah.
If he surpasses
Let's
60.
get 60.
But yeah, when I first saw that, I was like, he's probably only taken like 70 faceoffs or something, but he takes a lot of faceoffs. So it's good to see because the Bruins have been missing a guy like that since Bergeron left. I mean, even Lindholm, yes, he's good at draws, but I mean, Kaslik at almost 60% is absolutely dynamite.
But it's
Not
also,
only
Is
can
he?
he pass, but he can take faceoffs and beat the shit out of someone.
I was gonna say it's also good that he can slot in if Franz isn't having a good night in the dot. 4-7 can wiggle over and he can make it happen, right? Like it's good to have options on that line. Think about how many guys get thrown out of the dot like throughout the course of a game. You know,
Yeah, Franz is at 49%, which I mean, still pretty good
not too shabby.
for yeah. And during the broadcast too, he made a really good D zone play, and Brick and Judd were kind of giving him flowers a little bit. And the comment that Brick made towards Franz Minton was, "This guy has been off the charts." That was his quote for him. Off the charts is how he was describing him. So, love to hear that. Go
We
Franz.
just we just
Good,
need him to
good,
bury on
good rookie.
his breakaways. I think it was Pete Blackburn who was up in arms. Like this guy would have like 30 goals if he just buried on a B way,
He likes the gritty areas.
which was an all-time tweet.
Well, people forget too, though, that Kaslik was a first-round draft pick. So there's obviously some skill there that a lot of scouts thought, and obviously the Senators thought at the time too. And I mean, he can absolutely throw bombs in a fight, and he had some hits last night that got like a complete giggle out of me, where it's just full steam. Like there's no hesitation on the hit, but at the same time, we see all these gifted plays that he's making that lead to goals, and you're like, holy hell! Like there is maybe that I don't want to start throwing out comparables, but he has that like grit and skill level to him that if he sees more ice time, who knows? And I think we're starting to see.
It sounds like you're hinting at a Tom Wilson comparison, maybe.
I didn't want to get there because we're talking about like a perennial all-star, but
That's what I
I
didn't
think
say.
he yeah, but true, but I think he shows some glimpses of Tom Wilson.
Are we putting him on the Olympic team now?
Let's not get
Or
crazy.
not.
But going off of Kaslik and his skill in that Vancouver game, that little tic-tac-toe and that behind-the-back pass, I mean, just put it on the key for Janelle. You can't coach that. He's shown it over and over again. And I was a doubter, BCam. When you said, is he a top 9 forward, I think it was yes, no, or smoke a little more. I think I hit option C, smoke a little more. And gonna have to retract that one after we've had more and more of a sample size here.
You weren't wrong. He was just early. That's all. And I've been a Catholic believer. I had to kind of push myself into that corner because still a little dumbfounded by the Linus Ullmark trade, but nevertheless, hell of a game. The passing was insane. I still can't believe they lost that game. If they're like the shots were at one point like 31-15. And Brick and Judd were saying it on the broadcast. The Canucks just got every single bounce you could think of. You were like, how did they even get that puck in that spot in that time moment? It didn't make any sense, but it was a tough loss to swallow, but there was a ton of positives to leave the game with where you could see their skill level come to life.
Yeah, and that one stung with the over and the Bs. Obviously, placed a wager responsibly. But to see it play out the way that it played out was frustrating because Van got every bounce, but I feel like the Bruins also, they've been beating themselves in the past couple of games, and there were a couple there where you scratch your head with 26 and 27 on the ice, and you're just like, not really sure what happened there. Like that one in the second period, miscommunication behind the net, whatever it was, and it was just a tap in wide open in front. It's like we just can't be giving up these goals, and we're just continuing to beat ourselves over and over again.
Yeah, I don't love that D pair. I also don't love the D pair of Soderstrom and Lowry. There seems to be some misunderstandings on the pairings. I'm not entirely sure. I know you love Soderstrom, and I'm going to give you the mic here in a second, but I can't have them on the ice at the same time.
Agreed.
I'm going to save my thoughts for a rant on some D pairs. This is
Okay.
eating me up. And I'm going to butcher
Okay.
the guy's name that we signed up on waivers. I'm not even going to attempt to. I'm just going to call him Coco for the sake
Coco.
of the pod here. But, yeah, they need to do a little bit of a wiggle. But didn't mind in that game, though, the Middlestad, Lindholm, and Pasta line. Sturm threw him out there for a little bit, and they had something going. And second time his name has been brought up, Mr. Femia. Just don't know what he's got against number 11, but I think he's been bringing it. He's been bringing it.
As a stern Middlestad hater, I have to agree because he's not giving me much right now to say in a negative sense. So, hand up. I was wrong on that one. I think I was wrong the last time we talked about him, too. I think maybe one more time of me being wrong about him, and I'll start to come around. I don't know when I'm going to come around. I think if someone brought up changing his number, like if we can get him to maybe a 32 or something, like hilarious looking, like just a little more meat and potatoes in there, you know, it'll look like he's forechecking harder. I don't know. But
I will.
the guy's been really good.
I stand on business with Middlestad. I love his game. His board play, I've told everybody to watch it closely. He doesn't lose pucks on the half wall in the D zone especially, and he hustles his nuts off. He's on the back check, he's on the forecheck. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he makes those small little plays where he doesn't rush the shot if he doesn't see any life with it. He's just like he's exactly what the Bruins need at the time that we're in right now, where we didn't have a ton of skill when we were coming in on the roster, and he truly has that next level skill in comparison to the other Bruins players, and he's much needed on this roster because if he wasn't there, we would have maybe 11 out of 12 forwards that were grinders and not goal scorers, playmakers.
Yeah,
You're calling Morgan
Beacon.
geeky?
Well, prior to the season, I didn't want it to be a one and done with 33, and then we see him drop down to 15. I held out hope, and thank God it happened, but I was a little nervous.
Beacon, I want to hammer something home, though. That 4-on-4 goal, that Middlestat, he gained the line, he bought some time, he found Nikita, Quinn Hughes, Zadorov coming down. Just Zadorov doing his ozone magic, which is hilarious, but also sick. And then he ends up fighting Zoc on the back door, and they bury it. Middlestat gains the line, he buys some time, makes the play, and makes it happen. So we're on the wagon. We just got to get everyone else on the wagon.
Yeah, and anybody calling that shootout goal winner elementary is out of their freaking mind. That was disgusting. That was absolutely disgusting. The whole shootout was a snooze fest. I literally couldn't believe that he put Peak out there. That was stunning and jarring and every word, every adjective you can think of. But I also was sitting there and I was like, God, maybe he has the hot hand and maybe he comes down and pulls remember the guy from the Rangers that went through the legs?
Marek Malik.
Marek Malik, like the infamous goal that if you search on YouTube top 10 shootout goals, it always makes it in there. I didn't know. Who knows if he pulls out something crazy that he's been working on in practice, but unfortunately that did not happen.
So that was...
Wasn't Sturm's quote, Mike? He was like, yeah, he does this move in practice and he just didn't do it in the game.
Yeah. And I think I really like what Sturm has been doing all along. You guys said it earlier, the lines that he put together. I think he has a really good pulse of what's going on. I think the Peak decision, maybe he got a little cocky. Because if it works and and Peak scores, we're like, this guy's a genius. Look at him putting the 8th defenseman in there and he's scoring. By the way, Peak leading the team in D-men goals. So, I mean, not that crazy, I guess, but it's a move that looks great if it works, but if it doesn't, I mean, we're just saying, what the hell are you doing, Marco? So that was, I think, maybe one of his first major mistakes in terms of lineup decisions or pulling levers and pushing buttons.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hate for Peak online.
I don't hate Peak.
I was just
I
going
don't-
to say that. People are blowing him up on Twitter. He's a solid stay-at-home D-man. I would take him over Carlo.
Yeah, I actually
Yeah,
liked
any
him
day.
a lot. Like, me saying he shouldn't be out there in the shootout was no peak hate. I just think there's a time and a place for
Oh
those
yeah,
guys.
I mean, that's just
I
a
know you're a
fact.
peak. But there was that one tweet that I sent to the group where it was it was like where they do the graphic of being sent down to Bruins and it was like send them straight into the sun.
Oh yeah, that was
I,
funny though. That made
it
me
was
laugh.
fun. That was a great tweet. I'll give them their flowers there. But I think he's playing too high of a role right now for the team. Where to your point, Dave, he would be unbelievable if we just had one better defenseman that could jump him in the lineup and he could play his 12 to 15 minutes a night and he would be rock solid for us and we would
He's
never
averaging
complain
20
about him.
right now. They had that.
Yeah,
on
it's
the
that might be just a little bit too much.
Yeah. I mean, well, that goes to the argument, oh, well, what do we do? Do we add a right-handed D? We talked about it on the last pod, but I don't. What are you going to do? Give up a bag for a number 4 D, like on the right side? You know,
I know.
And who's out there? We're not going to. You gonna grab someone who's on the older end on the back 9? It's kind of an interesting spot. Because
Yeah, and the trades that we've seen, I thought the returns were going to be much higher. Marchment, he's a free agent after this year, so a second round pick from Columbus, who last I checked they were in last place. Yeah, they're in last place.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe maybe they have confidence that they can re-sign him. So I'm not going to completely fault them for that. But the Philip Deneau deal was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And I also forgot about the freeze period on the rosters. So they snuck that in there. And I mean, he's got 0 goals and 5 assists. I know he's a stupendous two-way center, but I don't know. That seemed like a bizarre trade as well.
Head scratcher. Have fun in Montreal. Like that. Just those two trades just like don't do it for me. You know,
No.
it is just you're just kind of moving a couple guys around for maybe a change of scenery. Marchman, I could see he's got a little bit of jam, bigger guy, he can score. But the Columbus, a little bit of a head scratcher. Granted, the East is so tight that you get hot, and you can jump up a few spots, and you can see the bees are cooling off a little bit and starting to sweat. But yeah, those are a couple of head scratcher moves. But Deneau said that he wasn't happy in LA, so it was a matter of time before something happened.
Yeah, he wanted the reunion too. I mean, he started his career in Montreal, but he wouldn't have fit on the Bruins. I think Marchment would have, but at the same time, I'm not shelling out a second round pick for a guy that could just jump after this year. I mean, the Bearlieve news, we're not destined for the Stanley Cup, although my hopes are always there. Hey, listen, I'm Bearlieve, but we need to think long term here. I do think that the Bruins at some point need to make a trade for a D-man. I just don't know what that looks like, especially after this Senators game. We can't be letting up 6 goals, and it seems like it's almost every other game we're up. It's like a low-scoring football score where we need to cut that out immediately. So I don't know what the trades look like. I've thrown out my proposals with Cairo and a few others, but I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but they need to do something.
I agree. I think we need to see how the experiment here goes with Coco on the back end. We're gonna need a pronunciation guide. I just tried looking it up here.
Want me to give it a go?
Take me a minute.
Kolyachonok?
Pretty good. That's a pretty good one.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I tried my
Coley and
best.
Achonok.
Kolyachonok?
We'll go with Coley and Achonok. He can play the left or the right side. We need to see how that experiment goes before I think we start moving some pieces around. And Harris is coming back, and he's a solid guy on the left side. Soderstrom's game has been pretty good, in my opinion. I think he's got a little more sneaky skill, and I think Brick made a comment, or it could have been Judd. I was like, yeah, Pasta looked over his left shoulder. Next thing you know, Soderstrom was right down his neck. I don't think Pasta realized how fast he was, or something along those lines. So I think it was a first-round pick. He's obviously got game. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, because I have some thoughts for the rant, which I'm going to save for later, because after watching that Sens game, I want to blow up the back end.
Yeah. Well, don't forget about Aspero too. We don't want him to be forgotten
True.
because he
Yes.
will be back
Good.
and he's solid. But to your point, Dave, I thought Soderstrom has played well. He was a part of a goal in the Vancouver game where he kept it in on the blue. He stopped right in his tracks on a transition going the other way, and he kept it in, which, yeah, that was the Adam. So like it all started with that where He's right time, right place. Probably, I mean, it seems like he's got a pretty good hockey IQ, but you made a point a few episodes ago where you were commenting on he might have cement in his pants. That could be an issue, but if he's in the right spots, he doesn't need to use his speed as much. I think he's going to start to get more comfortable playing, and he's going to find out where he needs to be in certain situations.
Yeah, and that goes for number 6 as well. The guy needs a compass out there, and someone had that tweet. I can't take credit for it. It was just comedy, an all-time tweet.
Very funny.
Lohrei lost his compass in the second period, but even against Ottawa last night, these guys that we go down 3-rip in the first. Korpisalo joins the Ty Anderson list yet again. Just want to throw up looking at that list. That game was a real head scratcher. A real head scratcher.
Yeah, it sucked too because you had good football on all day, exciting games. You wanted to watch a good Bees game and right the ship, so to speak, right before the Pats came on, and it was just a complete wet fart 5 minutes in. I mean, Corpy, he looked a little bit better after the first goal for a little bit, and then it just went to shit very quickly again. One of the things I saw on Twitter was some people were kind of upset, not upset, but questioning the decision making of Swayman starting all those games in a row. Like the Vancouver game was either 3 or 4 in a row that he started. And I chimed in back saying, I don't really have a problem with that. The guy's your starter. He's going to be playing, what's a 7-game series, 4 series, 28 games maximum potentially if you want to win the cup. And they're questioning his workload 3 games in a row in December. I don't know. I don't see really an issue there. Shit, I would have played him back to back to back to back instead of Corpy.
Yeah, Mike,
I'm in the same boat.
I got one for you though. I think you want to win your divisional games because those points mean a little more. And I think I saw there was a comment online somewhere. You know what? Maybe you throw Corpy in against Van, right? Give Swayman a break. And then roll Swayman against Ottawa, roll him against the Canadians here, which I'm sure they're going to. So maybe break it up a little bit, but to your guys' point, ride your dogs, Like he's your number 1, ride him. Because people are all the time, they're like, Korpisalo's mass is too low, we can't see, his pants are too saggy, he can't move through the crease. Like all this stuff.
Is that what people say? His pants are too low?
Yeah, it was an all-time comment. But then he'll pull a save out of his ass. And you're like, oh, he's kind of got it, and then he'll let one in. He'll be like, "Oops."
No, and I do like Corpy more than most people probably, but I don't know. Something weird is going on in that back end. Is it goalie Bob that might be messing with his mind? I don't know.
Yeah.
Goalie Bob's a name that only gets praise. He never gets criticism.
I was talking about this with a buddy on Saturday night. Bruins fans have been lucky with the goalies that we've had. I mean, Defoe, Tim Thomas, Tuukka Rask, now Swayman, Olmark. We have been truly blessed with goalies where I see some goals that happen throughout the NHL, and I'm like, I couldn't even imagine being a fan. That was on the ice from the red line. I can't even, it is truly, we're very lucky to have the goalies that we do have. Korpisalo was left out to dry in a lot of situations last night, but the Zetterlund goal on the power play, short side high, just can't happen. And I also noticed too, there's a lot of loose pucks that just kind of land out right in front of the crease, where he's not necessarily diving for the puck, where I think he can maybe get a glove on it and get a whistle, but he doesn't tend to do that. He kind of waits to see how the play unfolds, and it led to 1 or 2 greasy goals for the Senators yesterday. Maybe that's a style of play. I wasn't a goalie. I have no idea how all that works, but it seemed like a situation where Swayman's at least getting a stick out there or trying to jump on the puck and get at least a face-off. I don't see that from Korpisalo.
Well, put some onus on the guys. If they know he's not gonna freeze those pucks, bear down. Have some nuts in front of the net. Clear some guys. Pick up sticks. Just 101. It's not rocket science. You don't see some of the guys in the back end getting greasy in front of the net. clearing guys.
Mhm.
Zadorov's tackling a
Agreed.
guy here or there, but he's taking a penalty, and then it's just, all right, back to square one.
Yeah,
You know, if
but
you know those pucks are
oh,
going to be there.
overall, pretty crappy game. Just flush the tape on to Montreal.
The notes were, shit start again. Shit game. Pass again. Literally. Just over again. And then
That's
there was
the
one
Mac
Corpy
Hollins
with two.
quote.
Then it was Corpy with 2 big saves on Timmy Stew on the breakaway. The only 2
He's a
saves.
problem. He's a complete problem. When he touches the puck, I hold my breath for a hot second. He's a complete problem, and I don't know if this season unfolds the way that we want it to, and the Bruins are either in a playoff spot or gunning for one, and they can grab maybe Ottawa first round. That'd be a hell of a matchup. Hell
I'd
of
be
a matchup. There
nervous.
seems to be some.
Don't
I would
like
be,
our chances.
but
The
like
Sens are like daddy right now.
I get it, but I truly think that it would be a hell of a series. It'd be a complete bloodshed. There would be fights. There's not typically fights in the playoffs. I think there would definitely be some fights going on, and there'd be some big hits. There's some big guys on both teams.
The only advantage we would have, I think, is Omar low key shit in the playoffs.
He looks shaky.
Hmm
I mean, obviously, I know he only let up 2 last night. There wasn't a ton of shots on that, not a ton of A-plus scoring chances, but he doesn't look like the confidence is fully there. And Dave, to your original point where we got started, I don't see the confidence there with number 6 either. So I don't know.
No, I think it hasn't been a good stretch these past few. And the Bearlieve meter is losing steam a little bit. Yep, little limp. There's a couple takeaways. We gotta let out some frustrations. Who wants to kick things off here? Because
I'll go. Sure,
it's
fine.
been a
I'll
roller
go.
coaster.
Yeah.
I'll volunteer.
We gotta cut the shit with the tribute videos. I've seen enough. The Trent Frederick, great player, great person. His family are probably very nice people. His first game here that he started when he got in the fight, his dad's crying. We're emotionally attached to this guy forever. Great. That's wonderful. The dude has 3 career playoff goals for the black and gold and has been a part of nothing but disappointment for this club. And he comes home and he gets, from what we heard, 30-second video. I think it was more like a minute 15, minute 20. It's a minute 20 too long. We got to stop with this. Enough is enough. The Brad Marchand tribute video is the gold standard. I'm surprised TD Garden, as much as I gave them praise, I don't know who it is. I don't think it's my guys in the production room. I think they're getting levers pulled in front of them. But I'm surprised we didn't just give Max Jones a tribute video as well. Freddie's line mate out there, who actually had an assist. So Max Jones revenge game as well. But they're just getting out of hand.
Give Mac one
Yeah,
too
it's
while
setting.
you're at it if you're handing them out like that.
Yeah, we're setting a dangerous precedent that it sounds like, or it seems like, you play 100 games of the Bruins, you're in. You're getting a tribute video.
Where do we draw the line? I don't know where the line is.
There needs to be qualifications. 1,000 games, 1,000 points, Stanley Cup,
Hmm
personal accolades, whatever it is. Listen, I agree with you. Heard he was great in the community. Heard he was a great guy. He played hard. He was a good Bruin for the time
Very
he was here.
likable.
And yeah, very likable. But I don't know if that results in a tribute video.
No, I'm all in. We're not giving out participation medals. It's what it is. Everyone's getting one these days. I got one, B Cam, if you want to take it home after this. This shouldn't be too long.
Let it rip.
It's just the back end. And the back end has been driving me nuts. Like, it really has. I'm a bum. I'll be the first one to admit it. 9 o'clock at night, play once in a while, maybe 10 o'clock on Thursdays, nothing crazy, but you're like watching some of the shit that's going on the back end, and you just scratch your head over and over again. And hey, I'm not here to put guys down. Just call it how I see it, right? Like these guys are significantly better than I would ever be at men's ice hockey. But to play at this level, you watch a couple of these guys, and get a guy like Six, I think the experiment's over. I don't know where he continues to fit in. And he's a hell of a player. The kid's got more skill in his pinky toe than probably all three of us have in our entire bodies, if we're just being honest. He needs a place where he can go. He can run a power play. He can be the offensive guy. He's just going to be behind Hampus. He's going to be behind Zadorov now. It's probably time to cut ties on the experiment. It's hard as it is to say, whatever. But he's got so much promise on the offensive side, and he does some crazy stuff with the puck. But he needs the compass, and when the compass rose is off, by God, is it off? I just think it's time.
Yeah.
The experiment's over.
Yeah, it's a tough watch. I think he's definitely. I definitely think teams want a guy like Lowry. I mean, he comes at a fairly low cap hit, and he's 6'3", or he's got good wheels on him. He's got good skill set. His D zone's definitely a little lackluster, but I mean, you kind of take his lackluster D for his offensive skill if he's producing, which he's certainly not right now. So I agree with you, Dave, but I think you both would agree with me on this. I would root for him wherever he goes. I think he would be a great player for the organization. I think he would be someone's at least top 2, top 3 defenseman, and he would probably do wonders over there. He's probably like a 30 to 45 point guy per season. He'll probably be dash something in the plus minus category, but I think he can be good elsewhere. I think he needs a reset. He needs a clean slate, go somewhere else, maybe with not as much media around it, and maybe like a Columbus, maybe something along those lines, but certainly not here.
Well, Marco was supposed to be the guy that was kind of going to square him away and, get him figuring it out in the D zone and how to play two-way hockey, but it just hasn't seemed like that's been the case. And granted, he's not on pace to lead the league for the Green Jacket and plus minus anymore, but I mean, if I see one more defensive zone toe drag where the puck just gets knocked away, it's gonna drive me crazy.
Yeah, in BK, I'll root for the guy where he goes. He just needs to be put in a situation that he's going to succeed in. And him being a bottom pair D with not getting that PP1 or significant PP time, even though he's on the second power play, he's a flank for Lindholm. Don't know if that's using your assets and the best abilities. He has a ton of skill, so yeah, let's try to fit him in on the power play. But yeah, I don't know.
But they kind of let the reins off him last year when they sold the barn and everything, and he did worse, I think.
True. It might just be time for that factory reset.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know if while he's driving me crazy, I do think a full year or two under Marco could still turn him around. He drives me nuts watching him, but I think I still got to hold out hope for him.
He played great coming back after he got scratched for those handful of games. He was great. He was responsive. Mm-hmm. He was responsible in the D zone. He was great gaps. He was closing on guys, and then I don't know.
Put him up on the 9th again. The Legends Club.
I think it's truly the way that the Bruins play. Maybe the system doesn't work for him. I know that it's probably not much crazier than what other teams are doing, but it's obviously not working for him. He probably needs to be in a little bit more of a high-flying offense. Like I could see him on Carolina, and I guarantee he would do wonderful over there. Man on man, doesn't really have to think too much. He has his guy, and he's got guys buzzing through the neutral zone, hit him with a quick pass, jump up in the play. But the Bruins just aren't like that. They're very defensive-minded, and he's not defensive-minded. So it just doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna close the page on that rant, but it's just been something that you see over and over again, and you don't want to blow a guy up, and who are we to say anything? We're just idiots with opinions, but I feel bad for the guy. You want to see him succeed, but time for a change of scenery.
Yeah. My rant is not so much a rant. I had a lot of positives coming out of the 3-game losing streak. Pasta said it's the biggest game of the year. Don't disagree. Like you said, Mikey, the Garden's going to be completely rocking on the 23rd. There'll be Santa hats in the stadium. It's going to be a fun game, and it's a division game. Montreal, I think, has the upper hand in the playoff standings right now. So, but I have a few stats I wanted to throw out. I'm the unofficial stats guy. Jumped on Corsi. I don't know if you have made your way over to that website, but
Don't know
there's
what
some
it is.
interest.
That
Still don't know
could
what
be
it is.
PTSD.
Yes, I understand why. Take this with take this or eliminate the games that happened over the last 3 days, because that's the last time I got these stats. So, anyways, the Bruins are 15-0 when leading heading into the third period, but are 0-12 when trailing. They've never come from behind and won a game after trailing heading into the third period. That's a problem.
Woof.
That's a problem. They're 4-2 when they're tied, and they're 9-6 in one goal games. I like that 9-6 stat. I did ask ChatGPT if that's typically a good sign of a good team, and they responded with not typically. I'm going to say it's, but I will say that, yeah. So ChatGPT kind of beat me up a little bit, and then I made my way to Money Puck. Money Puck is another website that I highly recommend, and it says the Bruins have given up the most rebound shots in the NHL. But they've only allowed 5 rebound goals, which is the 7th fewest. That's an interesting stat.
That seems
Where
counterintuitive.
Yeah.
it does. It certainly does. But the Bruins are also second for block shots at 539, 5 behind Detroit that was in first place. And that
Love
might have
that.
changed a little. That's nails. And it almost confuses me a little bit, Dave, because I completely agree with your rant. The D zone is sometimes unbelievable, and sometimes it's a complete question mark. But all these stats, like block shots and getting pucks out of the high scoring areas when there's a rebound, like they all match up to be, or they're part of like what we think of when we're thinking of a good decor. Like they're doing the small things that don't lead to goals, right? But the Bruins have let up the 4th most shots at 30 points. So they're blocking shots. So that means that number could be much higher than 30.7, and they're not with good company. That's with San Jose, Toronto, Columbus, the Bruins, and the Blackhawks. It's the top 5.
You want to know what that almost sounded like? Sometimes good, sometimes shit.
Yep.
Yeah. So
And then the last one is goals against. They're 11th in the league at 3.18.
that's pretty good.
Middle of the pack,
That's not
but
terrible.
That's
it's
surprising.
not terrible.
That's surprisingly good.
Yeah, I thought it would be way worse, because we've seen games 5-4, 6-3, 6-2, whatever it is. We just need to get those numbers down a little bit, because if we're going to play this hard-nosed FCC forechecking game, it's got to be all 3 zones. It's got to be all 3 zones. So I love the play of just flipping into the middle if you got nothing, but I can't do the collecting it on the half wall, bringing it back into the D zone, because it just leads to errors, and errors lead to goals.
Flipping it into the
can't.
neutral when you got nothing, that's the Florida Panther playbook right there.
I know. We should be following suit.
Glassing out. They make a ton of just soft backhand plays, like whole hockey plays in the D zone.
They really
Get the puck
do.
off your backhand.
That's
Get
frustrating.
it off the glass. Come on. Don't
Yeah.
be a hero. That was good, B-Cam. That was good. Great
I
work.
like those stats.
Few clicks.
Yeah,
Few clicks.
Thank you, Brian.
no problem. That's what I'm
Well,
here
boys,
for.
anything else here? It was good breaking these down. Any other last thoughts, comments, concerns?
No. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to the Same Seats family. Bruins have some fun games coming up. I think tomorrow night's going to be a great game. Get together with family, friends, watch the game, maybe a few beers. But then they go back on the road after that on the 27th against the hot Buffalo Sabres. And then they go out west. But we will cross that bridge when we get there. But very excited for the game tomorrow.
Love it.
Yeah.
One game at a time. Go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to say, I think a lot of people are kind of hitting panic button, but I mean, this team lost 10 in a row earlier in the year. So I don't think we need to panic just yet. I think they're going to be fine. Pasta calling tomorrow, the biggest game of the season, is hilarious. It's December 3rd. Like, there's going to be a responsibly large wager on there tomorrow. I think we right the ship tomorrow.
Also, just quickly, now that you brought up Pasta, because this is the first time we've talked about him all podcast, I love when he throws them. I don't care. I know that there's risk for an injury there. He stumbles over his feet a little bit, but he can kind of chuck them. I think he's a southpaw, and he stands up for himself, and I love it. I mean, he did it against Florida last year, this year too. Like I love his tenacity.
Lead from the front.
Captain material.
All right. Before we sign off, numbers, Bearlieve, 1 to 37. Brian.
I'm gonna go Soderstrom.
Good.
29.
Mike.
Still a lot of hope there.
The number that I want Casey Middlestat to change to, 32. I'm still high on this team. The team is fun. The team is still fun. We're having fun. So I'm high. I'm high on the team.
I'm going to go Timmy T, 30. There's time
All
to
right,
right the ship.
we're all around the same.
There's time to right the ship. The Soderstrom one. Great call. Well, boys, Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays. Thanks for tuning in, and catch you guys here next week.
See you, boys.